So all of us have our favorite hay feeding areas where it's the most convenient to get to, or we can access it in a wetter periods. But if we continue to feed hay in the same place time after time, year after year, we can concentrate a lot of nutrients from the hay and from cattle's manure and urine into that very small area. And we've done some soil testing, and we can have 10 to 20 times more phosphorus and potassium and organic matter in those hay feeding sites than the surrounding field. There's a considerable amount of nutrients in hay, and it takes a lot of nutrients from a hay meadow when we bale that hay. The average Bermuda grass bale is about 8% crude protein. That's 1.3% nitrogen, and it's 1.3% potassium and about 0.2% phosphorus. And that's the equivalent of about 100 pounds of 1717 fertilizer per round bale. And that's about $30 worth of fertilizer if we're trying to replace that. So if we can spread that across a field, we'd be having a lot of advantages to our production and can harvest a lot of nutrients that way. And that's why we, a lot of times we'll recommend moving our hay feeding site or unrolling hay across a field throughout the winter. When we have concentrated hay feeding sites, and especially during calving, it's not as good a hygiene in those areas, and we can have considerable problems with scours and navel ill on those calves that are born in those areas, because cows like to calve and then bring those calves up to that hay feeding site. So that's when we start getting more problems with scours and navel ill during calving. If we can spread our hay feeding site, we're spreading out the manure, and we have less problems. If we roll out hay every day at the amount the cows will eat, we can decrease our hay waste from about 50%, as Dr. Lawman was talking about earlier, down to about 25%. If we can do something a little bit extra as we move those bales, having a temporary electric fence wire to keep the cattle off from that hay, we can decrease that even further down to about 15%. There's as many different ways to unroll hay as your imagination. You can put it on a steep hill and roll it down. You can push it. I've seen people push it with four-wheelers. Then we have this new equipment that's coming into the state. As you can see here, we're going to demonstrate today where it's unrolled using a tractor, and it does more mixing of the hay as you're unrolling it.